What up, YouTube? We back at it again. We're looking at some Ozzy, some Azahriah. Do me a favor. It's been a minute since I've done any Ozzy. No other reason other than I've been busy and other things, requests come and as they come. And then there's obviously there's routine sort of drops that I have to do. You know, the the common stuff that I do usually on my channel, that weekends and whatnot. But I have been busy. Anyways, we're looking at Kaotikus Egi Has. I'm gonna say that wrong, guys. I don't speak his language, so I think that's. I pulled up the lyrics. That means what a chaotic house. Um, Been in a few of those, college and thereafter and prior. Yeah, I know what that looks like. Like I said, do me a favor, go support Ozzy, go like and subscribe. If you like what I do, please like, comment down below. Subscribe. Appreciate it very much. It does help the channel. Also, the best way to get me is on Patreon. That's where requests like this do come from. Hannah, I got you, and thank you for supporting. Um, yeah, let's see what this is about. Let's dive in. Interesting visual right away where the house appears right side up. You pan away, obviously it's burning. And then in the background, we're actually filming upside down. So it's like this house has been flipped, flipped upside down. You know, the saying goes, right? And you see the brick with kind of black, what looks like burnt marks on it, right? Okay. I can't get you subtitles. I tried. I do have lyrics pulled up. I have not read them yet. I'm going to make it through a verse. I had a feeling this was not going to be in my language. But I can allow you to see it bigger. So I'll help you out the best that I can. Y'all don't need to see me. I'm nothing special. Let's go.
Te nem láttad, hogy húzódott szét a család, mindenki vonszolja a saját maga keresztjét a hátán. Kop, gyere be, gyere be, gyere be, gyere be. Esténként vágyom még arra, hogy szépnek is lássam, de minden, ami vagyok, az az, amit otthonról hoztam.
Just by the... Yo. Y'all ever watch the show Ridiculousness? It's literally on MTV 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and has been for the last like 11 years. That right there is what they call the scorpion. It's their logo. I wasn't expecting this. So all right, we're continuing at these themes of chaos. This looks somewhat kind of AI generated. Just looking at the buildings and his hands look kind of animated, but we're bent up, upside down. Yeah, just some weird shit going on. Some Inception type. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. So just how that verse structure was, I was going to comment on lyrically. It wasn't singing. It wasn't really rapping necessarily. It sounded like it was more storytelling. So you haven't seen how the family drifted apart. Everyone drags their own cross on their backs. Knock, knock when he knocked on the door. Come in, come in. In the night I'll be waiting to see its beauty, but everything I am is. By the way, these are loosely translated lyrics. You guys may have different translations. I'm just reading what's given, right? But everything I am is what I brought from home. Stay inside, stay low. Stay inside, stay low. Interesting. When you say stay low, that's almost like there's chaos outside too. Like there's like stay out of the way of a window. Stay low. That's what you do during like war times when you're taking shots. Everyone drags their own cross on their backs. Interesting. So everybody has their own agenda. That's metaphorically speaking, right? So that's symbolic, the cross on their backs. Everybody wears their own ideals and has their own ideas as far as what they're doing, not just in a spiritual sense, but it sounds like from a chaos standpoint, just people are doing different things, and there's just lack of structure, as you can see with the video so far. I'll keep it going. Sorry about that, and I'll run it back a little bit.
Sokat gondolkozom azon, hogyan lettem ilyen, hogyan lett mindenki más. Kicsit szomorú, kicsit megborulok ma is, hogy tudjam, hogy ki a hibás. Ha beborul az igén alatt a szívom a saját, és leszarok mindenki mást. És tudom, ez nem elegáns, tudom, ez nem a megoldás. De aludok, megígértem, hogy majd megcsinálom, összerakom a várat. Nem érdekében van, azt mondják, pihenjek le, hiszen mégis van, ami megvárad. Folyamat baszod el az idődet, hogyha fas vagy, és egyik nap sem élsz a mánat. Szóval mondd el, mire vágtok. Most úgy vagyok vele, itt vagyok egy ideje, felcseperedtem a házból. És a régebbi otthoni rémálmok miatt most kaotikusabb látok. Én a rosszat elfeledem, de mégis megmarad, előjön, ezután várok. Szóval ne haragudj, ha megindulok, majd az a zsalog. 1 milliárdos kép, hogy valahogy máshogy, mint rés, soha nem hagyod a
Alright, hold on a second. He just changed the beat up, by the way. But I'm gonna. Sorry, this might take a minute here because now he's rapping. So I'm gonna read you that entire verse from what I see here, and I think he made it through all of this, right? That was verse 1, yeah. I'm thinking a lot about how I became this, how everyone got different, a bit sad. I get a bit drunk today too, so I know who's guilty. When the sky gets dark, I smoke a joint under it. I don't give a fuck about anyone else, and I know it's not elegant. I know this is not the solution. This is not the answer, but I promised my mom I would do it. I would put up a castle. I have plenty of time. They say I should rest since there's so much that can wait. You're constantly wasting your time. But if you're wrong, you don't ever live for today. So tell me, what are you waiting for? Now I think I'm here. I grew up from my house, and because of the old bad dreams from home, I see everything more chaotic. I forget everything bad, but it comes up now everywhere. So excuse me if I go home as a millionaire or as something else than before. Hope never leaves me. So I think this is actually, for as convoluted as that may sound, I think it's actually pretty, if I'm reading that correctly, and I might not be, you guys let me know. I may be completely wrong. It happens. I usually am. It's basically just like, it's talking about one's sort of drive and kind of constant promise to themselves to regardless of where you come from, everybody comes from some sort of chaos, and we use this house as this proverbial this example as your upbringing, or you may come from a broken home, or you may come from, everybody has issues that they deal with in one way or another growing up. No one has that perfect, nothing, there's never a perfect in any scenario, really. What it's talking about is, and he uses the term like promising my mother I'd put up a castle. So that could be literal, like, oh, I'm gonna build you a castle one day. Like, everybody wants to do right by their family and to do things to sort of take care of and kind of make sure that those behind you and ahead of you are taken care of. That's the goal for everybody, right? Just making sure that you don't lose sight of that. And he mentions, and then with that, everybody has vices. So you have escapes. He mentions getting high underneath the sun, or whatever he said, underneath the night sky. I forget what he said. But he says he was drunk, and he's like, and getting high, and these are his escapes. And he's referenced things like this in other songs too. It's not just this, but it's not to say that that's necessarily. He's saying that I know whose fault it is. That's my fault, but I'm using this as a way to kind of escape this fucking chaos. You look at what they're depicting in the video. I mean, he's dressed up like some sort of, or the narrator, whoever this is in this, we'll assume it's him, but where this song is coming from, he's got a Molotov cocktail right now he's about to throw somewhere, but we'll see who burned that house down in a second. But basically, I forgot where I was going there. Yeah, just basically like using where you came from and keeping that sort of right there, dealing with what you have to deal with, but knowing that there is a focus in the future. And like I said, he has done this stuff in other songs and making mention of different vices, be it use of drugs or alcohol and whatnot. But still keeping eyes on a castle and on millions of dollars, right? Hold on. Wait, let me back this up before he drops that beat.
Yeah, I tried to fall asleep, but I was dusty. Thinking about the past, I feel disgusted. Last night we pulled up in Berlin, we busted. So step the pocket, watching you, none of them on the ice. Choco blast, mega ház, ami ég. Nincsen szó, nincsen gond, nincs most időm parázik. Első szorokért, belső sebekért, szomorú szorokért. Lehet talán egyszer megváltozol, és talán egyszer majd a család fagyja végül hazatér. Minden megoldatom magamért.
This part here is interesting visually. I haven't read the lyrics yet, but initially he walked outside and like you see him kind of upside down, but it wasn't chaotic. Um, and then like and then once he realizes sort of what's around him, and again he's dressed up like a militant of some sort. Um, you know, in almost it almost seems like in a way that he's protecting his past. If this is his sort of like his home, or just the representation of his home, like kind of metaphorically or back in his head, if that's what this represents, he comes back verse 2. Now it's just complete chaos outside. It's almost like kind of diving into the real world, because he mentions like going out and chasing millions, and he talks about that in other songs about like experiencing and like his levels of growth, and coming to the realization that of his successes at such a young age, early 20s, right? um and noticing that everything is, first you're, oh no, I'm upside down, I don't know what's going on, and then you start realizing shit's chaos outside too, so I need to protect what's behind me. So just, it's what he's doing is set fire to it, say fuck it, let's go. Right.
Istálál majd a család fagyja végül hazatér. Minden megoldottam magamért. Hajomért meg majd a gyerekért. Lehet valaki megért. Meg nekem ez elszem, mint bárki másnak. Egy picik folyamat engem fikáznak. Csipaszott legendák kisipáznak. Aki velem packáz, az ráfáz. Gungurugum, 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 gurugurulunk le. Ebben a mélységben senki se szólt a szepábi, csak a becsületedet. Nem vágom a sokat hontalan csukkorom adat, ha nem helyezik be. Gyere be, maradj be, maradj be.
That's an interesting visual right there. When he hit upside down him, it's somebody's putting a flag in it, almost like. Now I might be taking this a step too far here, but he's also referenced in other songs about his aversion to having anything controlled by others, labels, and really having any sort of like any sort of corporate or media kind of driven structure dictating what he does and what he can't do. And I couldn't see what was on that flag, but that could be like some sort of something that symbolizes control, right into his head as he was kind of upside down. And it almost like as he's trying to figure out his way, and as he's kind of upside down outside figuring the world out, it's like, oh, do this, do that, we're gonna claim you. Again, I may be just reaching. It's tough trying to pay attention to lyrics. I'll read the second verse to you in a second here. Okay. Beam me up. All right. Interesting. Um, Cool. I can stop at the gangster lean real quick. All right, we back. Real quick, let me read this. Yeah, I tried to fall asleep, but I was thirsty. I wasn't thinking about the past. I feel disgusting. I'm disgusted. Last night we pulled up in Berlin. We bust in to stop the pocket watching. There's a double in there. Pocket watch, but pocket watching. I got you. So like a pocket watch to tell time, but pocket watching, watch what's in your pocket, your dollar bills. Pocket watching, like to watch. You know nothing, just the ice, just a cig, and the house that it's burning. No words, no worries, no time to be scared. For inside problems, inside wounds, for sad shit. Maybe I'll change one day, and maybe my family's disappointment will go back home. I took care of myself, for my girl, and for my kid later. Maybe someone understands, because it's harder for me than anyone else. NPCs always talk shit about me. Fuck, legends make mistakes too. If you gotta mock me, you'll get fucked. Goot doot goot. So that was that sort of gun sound he was talking about. We're rolling down in the deepness. No one's a saint. Use anything except for your pride. I don't get it. Why don't the useless, ugly, rude guys don't fucking stop? Come in, stay in. Yeah. Again, really, it's vague when it's translated like this. You guys gotta help me out. I don't speak his language. I don't speak. It's so when it does get translated, it's usually loose at best, but it's the after effects of what again comes along with. If I'm reading this right, I'm probably not. You guys feel free to tell me I'm wrong. My brain just goes one direction; it tends to stay there. But Um, yeah, it's so when we talk about we pulled it to Berlin, right? So again, that's referencing moving on. That's taking a step sort of away from home. Just the idea to say this burning nowhere's inside problems. Putting shit behind you with your now he's got family on his mind. And family's disappointment for leaving home potentially, but literally the next line in that verse is I got to take care of myself and my kid that's on the way, for lack of a better term. So staying focused on, albeit I came from a chaotic home, yes, that is important to me, but I got to look out for what's important and right in front of me right now. You guys may have your qualms or your disagreements with what I'm doing, but I know in my heart and in my head that I'm doing it for the right reasons, right? So, and then there's a good amount of it that's just basically fuck the haters, trying to shy away from that noise and not to focus on that. Everybody makes mistakes. He says a little differently, and don't mock me, don't mock me, or we'll prove you wrong. He's not rolling up and pulling weapons on anybody. No one's a saint. Yeah, there's a couple references that go back to that no one's perfect, and no one comes from a perfect place. So anybody who can sit back and mock, then that's on you, and you've got your own issues, right? You're not perfect either. So, yeah, I think in a really, if I were to put this in a very small nutshell, it's regardless of where you come from, remember it. Keep eyes on where you're going. Stay focused on it. And don't pay attention to any noise that distracts you along the way. It's kind of what I took from that. So I don't know. I could be wrong. Go support Ozzy. We like Ozzy on this channel. When he gets into that rap flow, man, and I spend a lot of time on lyrics because I try to fucking understand him, and some of you guys like when I do that, some of you don't. But nasty beat. Ozzy, when he gets into rap mode like that, it just rapid fire, man. It's nasty. I love listening to him. Regardless of what he's saying, it's just he just makes enjoyable music. Go support Azahriah, please. That is Kaotikus Eggy House, Chaotic House. But yeah, go support, and if you have some time, if you like, please comment down below, subscribe. Appreciate it very much. We will catch you on the next.